Evening.
Even how
Welcome.
we doing?
Good. This is Shah, special guest for the day. Our Monday is away. Um Solo United had a private engagement, so it's me and Shah holding the fort today for the Manchester United Arsenal post-match show. Shah, just a quick one. Your thoughts, brief thoughts on the game before we dive into one or two little bits and pieces.
Um, I think both teams had equal opportunities. I think they both showed the standard that we're both at realistically. Um, not enough play going into just behind the strikers. There's not enough play there. Everything gets dragged out to the wings. We're not kind of, Bruno kept getting dragged out. It's there's a lot. There's still a lot to do. You can see that, and the rebuild is positive. There's a lot of good possession, a lot of accurate passing. But overall, it's another game that we can't. We should have really taken control of, given our form, and really dominated. But we just seem to be, as soon as teams put these sort of all 11 players behind the ball, we seem to be struggling to break them down. Those linking passes, and even the finishing has just been awful. We're not clinical enough, and I think
All
it's
right,
just.
I didn't want to cut you off, but special mention there to Don P. An unbiased. We'll have an unbiased view of the game. Sorry to cut you off, Shah. Keep going. Sorry, big man.
Well, end of the day, we needed the 3 points and we haven't got them, right. So that to me is just as bad as a loss at this very moment in time. We needed them 3 points to show that we are challenging. Arsenal, for all their respect, are the team they were. I think we're a little bit ahead of them, and we showed that, but we just didn't take those opportunities. They had some good opportunities as well. So all in all, is it a fair result? I'll probably say yeah, to be fair. And I'm being a bit of a getting myself out there, but I think the results speak for itself, and the 0-0 just shows how crap the game was, to be honest.
Oh, my thoughts. I actually didn't think it was that bad a game. To watch. Chances wise, first half, I thought we probably had the better chances. But it was an even half. Second half, I think Arsenal probably played slightly better than we did. Am I happy with that? Not really. But I suppose you have to take a draw over a loss. But it doesn't help us moving forward. League table wise, confidence wise, it hasn't helped us moving forward. So yeah, I think we have to take it. Like you said, I'm disappointed with the draw. I mean, I saw the team, saw no Tierney, no Saka, and I thought, okay, they've got a couple of players out who are their bigger players. I expected us to do a little bit more, in all fairness. We had chances, yes, we did, but we didn't do enough.
Yeah.
Can we have an unbiased?
No, I think you guys actually provided quite unbiased opinions. Actually, I echo a lot of what you guys said. The game was pretty much of a muchness. Could have gone either way. I think both defenses kind of cancelled each other out. Although there were one or two chances, obviously with the Lacazette free kick that was very close, and then obviously Cavani had that chance right at the end, which could have gone in as well. So, but looking at the game as a neutral, I thought this was a very dead game. This is a really boring game. I suppose tactically the managers might be kind of, obviously, although both of them wanted the 3 points, I suppose both managers would be pleased that they haven't lost the game, because obviously with you guys losing your last match, 2 defeats would have been like terrible for your kind of confidence going forwards, etc. So the fact that you've actually got the point away from home, as much as you're thinking, oh, it's 2 points dropped, I think in the long term isn't that bad for your team. And if you look at the rest of the results around the league, obviously Everton dropped points. I think even Man City today, when I watched them today, without like Sterling, etc., I don't think their squad's as deep as many people think. So I still think that you guys, Man City's, I don't think it's as deep, especially going forward attacking wise. Defensive wise, they've got a lot of replacements, but attacking wise, they just did not look like scoring today against Sheffield United. Yeah, they didn't look like. Obviously, they scored the goal early, but Sheffield United kept them out pretty easily. But admittedly, though, Pep didn't start Sterling. He didn't play Sterling. He didn't play. I don't think Mahrez played as well. So. But I still think that you guys have got a chance for the league. Ultimately, we're not saying that you're favourites, but you're there or thereabouts, and that's all you can be, is it? There or thereabouts.
No, I understand that. I just feel that the belief now may be starting to wane with the players. I mean, me and Shah had a conversation just off here, and he was saying that he thought that the players looked tired. Now, we had a conversation about a week ago, me and Solo, saying that players maybe need to be rotated in and out of certain games. I understand he probably couldn't have done much rotating in this game, but maybe games before. Bruno looks really tired.
Of course he does.
And he's played every game. So I think there's an issue with trust in regards to what Ollie has deeper into the squad. I mean, we're all calling for Van der Beek. Go on.
I actually think it's actually worse than that. So there's one aspect of it is trust in the other squad. So people like Van der Beek, etc. But I also think the problem is I just don't think Ollie has the minerals to say to Bruno, "Sorry, you're not playing next week." I just can't see it. I just think he's so scared of upsetting or doing anything to harm that potential relationship because he relies on Bruno so much. He can't have that hard, difficult conversation. I just can't see him doing that as a manager. I just don't see it in his makeup. When he said, as I said before, when he said that time, I'll never forget it. I think it was going in towards your FA Cup match when Bruno had played game after game after game after game, and they asked him, "Are you going to rest Bruno for the next game for your FA Cup?" And he actually said, "I don't know. I have to speak with Bruno about that." And that's when I thought to myself, you know what? You can't be doing that. And he said that live on TV.
Yeah, but he's saying the most honest thing, though, isn't he? What are you going to do? You're going to find out how your player's feeling. You're going to have these conversations, part of man management.
No.
Ollie's got an evil.
Somebody's stream's gone.
Okay.
He's got an evil. We heard evil, and then you stopped.
Ollie's got an evil side to him. You can't be that ruthless in front of goal if you ain't got a little dark side to you, man. I'm telling you, there's a little Darth Vader in Ollie. Mate,
well, he hasn't demonstrated.
You don't need to demonstrate it to anyone in front of media. That's one thing that I've noticed with Ollie. That nasty side, he just says what he needs to say, straight to the point. But in the background training, you could tell, that there is another side to him. There's a lot of reports of people having the other side of Ollie. I think Ollie's got a little bit of that dark side in him, but he's not going to show it professionally on that side. So,
well, what you shouldn't say in the cameras, if that is the case, even if it is the case that he has to agree with Bruno, all he had to say was, "I don't know. I will need to make a decision closer to the game." That's all he had to say. I will make a decision closer to the game, and then he can have his secret discussion and basically whatever he has to do, bilateral meeting with Bruno to decide whether or not he plays or not. But Marvin, sorry, Mr. B, I agree with you completely. I do actually think that Bruno looks so tired. He looks like dead on his feet now. And then it's time to bring in, rotate him and bring in Van der Beek. Because he looks like the type of player, like when I saw him for Ajax, he looks like he's 2-footed. Okay, he's not going to always give you what Bruno's going to give you, but he might give you something different, something else that the team needs.
Yeah, he's got a good engine as well.
I mean, today, I think, so cut you off. Today, I think what burnt the most, and now I realise that Van der Beek, I just don't know what Van der Beek's done to him, because the ideal scenario is McTominay's coming off. You've got a player who can either play in his position or he plays further forward. We could have played him on the right or the left today when McTominay came off. I understand moving Pogba central midfield, but there has to be something else going on why this guy is not getting no gameplay. He's getting none.
Do you think it was a signing by Woodward then? It was a Woodward signing, and it was a case
but surely if you're a manager, a Woodward signing, as a manager, you have to be strong enough to say you don't want this player. I know you think Ollie's a softie already, but I don't believe that he's going to take a player that he didn't want. It makes no sense. You're undermining your own authority then. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I think the Liverpool game was a bit of a hard call for Ollie, like on Van der Beek afterwards, which probably made him double think about putting Van der Beek into this game. Personally, because obviously he had like 60. Well, if you look in that game, he went a bit missing.
So did
Van der
Bruno
Beek did
in the Liverpool game. What did Bruno do in the Liverpool game?
Not as much. There's points where like Bruno, Rashford and Martial are passing the ball and he's right there free in a bit of space and he's not even getting the ball.
So what, you think the players? So you think his teammates don't trust him?
I don't even think it's that. I think it's just because they haven't played together in a proper match, like it consistently enough. Like if I went and played a five-a-side with a brand new team, that first session is going to be a dead session because you don't know where everyone is. You know, you're going to need 2, 3, 4, 5 games consistently, and then you see a difference. But I think
Bruno didn't need that when he joined in January last year.
Yeah, but then Bruno was like the most like gifted player that United had. So it was very easy for him to go and fit in. But Van der Beek might be gifted, but he's not there yet at that Bruno level. And that's obvious because there's not many players. Look, there's not been many signings in the last 2 seasons that have had an impact on a team like Bruno has.
In any club.
So what I was saying before, and I think I was getting out of context. This is what I said previously when I said I likened Bruno to Frank Lampard. The reason why I likened him to Frank Lampard was because his goal product, admittedly, the first year, a large percentage of them were penalties. Ridiculous amounts were penalties. Yeah, but he put them away, so he scored them. You got to score them. But if you look at his assists, the vast majority of those were from corners. He did all of the corners. To me, he's not like a De Bruyne or somebody where I say to myself, "Wow, like you're doing this, you're doing these unbelievable assists, these unbelievable balls, etc." So to my mind, again, I admit I'm kind of in the minority. I am in the minority because all the media, most fans, they love Bruno. They think he's phenomenal. But to me, I look at the game and I look at how much times he gives that ball away. His ball retention is terrible. His record against the top 6 is terrible. I don't think he scored a goal against the top 6. I don't think he has, if you check your stats. So to my mind, I just think that the way he's been knighted and the adulation that he's getting from support, I'm not sure if it's altogether founded. That's my personal opinion, but I appreciate that I'm in the minority.
Okay, 1 second. We've got a message from Laps Ramps here. It's got title race over. Goals, I think he meant to say Glazers need to spend 200 mil, get Grealish, Haaland, new manager. Martial, Rashi is project finished. Were
That's a
we
good
in the
question,
title race?
actually.
Were we in the title race to begin with? Probably not. But as I said, I want to be closer, one, than we were last season, and two, let us stay the 2-3 points behind until there's 3, 4, 5 games left. Don't let it drop off now, filter, because then the season becomes a nothingness. Grealish and Haaland, top draw players, but let's be honest, he's not going to get rid of Martial and he's not going to get rid of Marcus Rashford. And I'm not having a bad word said against Marcus Rashford. That's standard. I'm not having a bad word to say against Marcus Rashford. Martial, yes, he can be very lazy. Actually, he is very lazy. Haaland, top draw. But can we
Can I ask you a
afford him?
question on that, Mr. B? Can I ask you a question on that, Mr. B? So, you guys can spend £100 million on Sandro last year in the summer, yeah? Now, and you still got deficiencies on the right hand side. I know that. I know that you're not clear in terms of the right side. However, also up front. Now, going into the summer, what would you prefer your team to do? Would you prefer them to actually replace that, get a Sandro for say 100 mil, or get a Haaland for 100 mil? What do you think is the most? What do you think will make the biggest impact to your team?
Haaland for me.
I would take Haaland. Haaland is a goal scorer. At the end of the day, that's what wins you games. Haaland is a goal. He's not just a goal scorer. He does other things, but he's a goal scorer. I'll take Haaland. If there was a choice out of the two, it would be Haaland. But then now with the way the market's going,
you don't think 100 mil will get? You don't think 100 mil will get him in this market, in this COVID market?
Yeah, I think so. I think 100 mil will get him. But we're not going to spend 100 mil. We're not going to spend 100 mil. And that's the problem. Manchester United won't spend 100 mil.
We're going to spend 100 mil on Sandro.
We didn't.
That's true. No, you're going to pay. Didn't they want over, or did they only want 100?
1 second. We're just going to add Mr. on Monday to the stream.
Sorry, guys. A bit late. Issues at work and all that kind of thing. I managed to get out.
No apologies needed.
What a boring game.
Well, what can we say, man? You say boring, 0-0. Yeah, it was a boring game. It was a boring game.
Sorry, where are you at? I've missed out.
It's fine.
Mr. B was just saying you're. I assume that you're a United supporter as well. But he was saying, of course, that you guys.
What's your name, bro?
Club,
this is Don P.
Don V, big up, bro.
Yeah, bless.
He's a neutral. This is our neutral one. He's a Spurs fan. So
Spurs.
He's come to give us.
I take that back.
It's all right. It's all right. I've probably got 6 reasons why you probably can't stand me. Anyway.
Oh my God, this guy's slick. I like that. Good one.
Anyway, what we were just talking about is that Mr. B, and was just saying that although you guys are the richest club in the world, that you guys wouldn't be able to afford the 100 mil for Haaland in the summer.
What, because of the current climate?
I don't even think it's afford.
That's the only reason.
I don't think the board would give him 100 mil to spend on a player.
Okay.
I don't think they would give him the money.
Have we spent 100 million before on a player?
Yeah, we spent 85 on Pogba.
85 and 89 we've spent. So we've spent nearly that, but I don't believe they would spend even 90 again. I don't think they would spend. Even if Mbappe was available for 90 million and he actually said he wanted to come to us, they still wouldn't send out sanction the money.
What's the point though about the not us not spending 100 mil?
So the question that I posed was last year you were going to spend supposedly going to spend 100 million pounds on Sandro on the right, and I was saying out of the two positions, what would you prefer to spend 100 million on, a Sandro or a Haaland? And that's the question that I posed. And both
I think we need Haaland more than we need Sancho. If he would come, I don't think he's a Leeds man, isn't he? I don't think he'd come.
Money talks. Money talks.
True. No, I don't. I think he'd end up going to maybe Real Madrid or something like that. I
Is he
can't
from
see
the
him
same
coming,
country as
or
your
Man
manager?
City.
Is he from the same country as your
Yeah,
manager?
he's from Norway, so there is a relationship there already.
Who, with Ollie from Mulder?
With Ollie, so you don't know. Listen, the football market is a strange place. You can be best mates with someone, and they'll still turn their back on you.
That's
so,
true.
Like, and at this very moment in time, money does talk. I think obviously every single football club up and down the country, all over the world, is affected by COVID, like you said.
Yeah.
And £100 million. Can United afford it? Yeah, of course we can. We're Man United, we're the biggest club. We got money, man. We're
But
not
isn't
like
there the Haaland deal at the end of next season? Doesn't he? There's a contract clause that says he can go for 60 million
That's
or something like that.
absolutely fine, but he won't be coming to us.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it's even up there for discussion. I can't see him coming. But I don't know. We're just speculating. Obviously, we don't know these things.
No, but I think personally, if you're going to want to go back to being one of the best clubs, or if not in the top 5 of Europe, you got to go and spend that money. Haaland is probably like the closest to, closest number 9. He's going to probably be one of the greatest number 9s that generation and this new generation's ever going to see.
Sorry, go on.
So why not? Pardon?
Yeah, I'll let you finish. Sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, the thing is as well, you've got Greenwood who fits a number 9 position. People forget that. Greenwood isn't just an out-and-out winger. He is actually a number 9. So there's a little bit of maturity and a little bit of respect we've got to give to, Greenwood. And Daniel James knocking on the wings about, Sancho. Then you've got Diallo, who they've just bought, Police Street.
Yeah.
You got Tahik Chong as well, who's out in Germany learning the craft. There's a lot of players that could come through that could potentially put off those plans of go and spend 100 million. So I think Ollie's got a good balance of options, personally, to go into not this summer but next summer with, because it isn't going to be this summer that we'll get Haaland, I don't think.
Can I add to that? I don't think you're saying we need to spend 100 million because we got the money, we're this sort of club. I don't think that's the case. I don't think Ferguson was spending big money. It was about having a good manager, a good foundation, a good philosophy, and good character thing which is grounded into the club. So I think with the current team, the squad we have now, we only have to tweak it with a better manager maybe. And like you say, we've got the players there. Rashford's come through the academy, Greenwood's come through the academy, Pogba come through the academy. So I think with our philosophy going forward, we can still do bits and maybe win a title without having to spend the money on Haaland. And who knows? Look at the Hannibal. We got a youth called Hannibal in the youths.
Yeah, the French guy. Yeah.
You know about him, yeah. So out of these things, there's so many great players in the youth system. Eventually, someone's going to come along who's 100 million, going to be 100 million world-class player. The way I see it. If you play it by percentages, that's what I think Man United do. That's why our youth policy is so good. We don't necessarily have to. Pogba, world-class players, come to our youth system. I'm not going to say I loved Ravel Morrison, for example. He, if he had the right attitude, could have been top class player. The list goes on. If you look back through time, so going back to the class of '92, I think that philosophy is still ingrained in the club. So all this thing about buying big players, all the only thing we bought is Pogba, bringing him back, which was a stupid deal. Maybe should have let him go in the first place. Well, maybe Ferguson knows best.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think we have to buy things just because we have the money. We have a formula. We stick with that, and I think we'd be all right with that. Because we're third last season, and buying Maguire or who we bought lately. Maguire.
Diallo is the one who I want to see of all of the players that we've got now.
Yeah.
That's the one that I want to see. But there's just a message here that's been on screen. Tough to take. Liverpool win tomorrow, and they are a point behind us. And City have a chance to go 7 points clear.
No problem.
It is tough to take, but what can you do? It was an Arsenal, a better Arsenal team than 2-3 weeks ago. Maybe if we had them 3 weeks ago, it would have been a different game. But Arsenal at the moment aren't going to get turned over. Yeah, sorry.
But just to say that the Arsenal team that you played today were missing 3 of their best players.
I said that I was really, really disappointed with what we showed, because to me, Saka, as I said, I was saying earlier on, Saka, Tierney, and
Abba.
Well, you can say that, but I think they've been playing better with. My opinion is they played better without him playing.
You said that yesterday.
But he's still their captain.
Yeah.
He's still their talisman.
Fair enough. I agree. Have United ever won a title without a proper striker that scores less than 20 goals? Never.
Yes.
Can I tell you on a call?
Yes, we have. Look back at the first Premiership League, Premiership.
Who was up front?
Go look at the thing. Go look at the first Premiership in '93, was it?
Yeah, but who?
We had Hughes. We had Hughes, McClare.
Hughes, McClare.
I think none of them scored over 20 goals.
Hughes won a league with you guys. I didn't remember Mark Hughes winning the league with you guys.
I wasn't in Bayern.
I'm sure he hasn't got no Champions. He ain't got no.
In '93, when we first, the year after Leeds won the title, won the last League One title, the first season of Premiership. Yeah, but we didn't score 20 goals. Cantona never scored 20 goals for us. Hughes was there. Hughes won a title with us in the first Premiership.
Okay.
No, none of the players scored over 20 goals. It wasn't until I think we got to like Andy Cole or maybe York that we got plus 20 goals.
That, though, you have to dig in the crates for that. You have to dig in the crates for that. That was like many, many years ago, wasn't it? Like you're going back to 1993. We're in 2021.
I know, but the question was asked. We don't win Prem's thing. I just had to drop. We can go forwards with that. But I'm sure there's other seasons where we had guys who didn't score more than 20 goals a season. Hush it. Come better than that, man.
The main thing was we were winning titles, and that's something a lot of teams just haven't done.
Yeah,
United
consistent with it, and back to back years and years and years and years of winning it, coming back. So coming back to what you were saying about having to spend 100 million, United were spending equivalent to 100 million on defenders, on midfielders, in today's money, right? You got to think back then, Rio was signed for 35 big boys, man. And them 35 big boys are equivalent to probably about 100 now. Yeah. So like we've always spent money.
Always, and that's one records. You broke records for Wayne Rooney. You've always broke records for your signings.
Brian Robson. Brian Robson going back 1.5 million. He was a record signing. Roy Keane was a record signing, 3.6 million. Andy Cole was a record signing, 7-point-something million. Yeah, and you're right.
Ollie's had 4 windows, right? Ollie's had his personal own 4 windows. Whatever he's got left from the team is bits and pieces of all the last few years of getting broken and all that. Same with Arsenal.
Interesting.
Arteta's in the same space right now that Ollie was 2 years ago. Arteta's got to build his team. If Arsenal back him, then it'll be an interesting team for them. Like the other side of it as well is you've got Lampard of Chelsea. Don't have time to wait. They're not messing about. Abramovich is not messing about. He got rid of Frank because he wants results straight away. There's 2 types of managers. Either you're going to go get results, or you're going to be like a Burnley and just sit in the league and be happy.
Because all these clubs have different philosophy, don't they? I mean, Chelsea. They're not going to wait around, are they? The joke about their management, their turnover managers. If you don't make it, don't win it. Who was the guy who won the former player who won the Champions League for them? After all the great managers they had, it ended up being
Di Matteo.
Yeah, Di Matteo. You see what I mean? Where is he now?
Yeah, Di Matteo.
Not like an elite manager.
A message on the screen from Gruner Ranger. I assume that's a Gruner Ranger. Anyway, back to this game for a second. I'll take the point, but think we could have had all 3 with Kieran and Saka playing. So I'm a bit disappointed. Thoughts, gentlemen?
I think that's just speculation. If your auntie had bollocks, should be your uncle, that kind of thing. I think, you could have said a lot of things. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now. I don't think Arsenal, if you look at the league, don't lie. you're not good enough, even with these guys. This is in response to Guna Ranger. You're still not good enough. Where you been? You've been down in 15th. You're only just climbing up now, and now you're talking about if we had this guy. I doubt it. That's speculation based on the league. The league don't lie.
Sure.
It's difficult for Arsenal man to talk now.
Difficult. Why is that?
Because
they
look what they are in the
should
league. As
be?
the point is said, because where they are in the league, and what they're out there. Where are they? Are they in cups? I don't know.
They're in the abyss.
They are.
I don't think they would have taken all 3 points anyway, to be honest with you. With Saka's Arsenal's best player, one of the most exciting players that we have in the league, like at that age group, I think personally.
Saka.
Saka, very
I like Saka. I rate him. I like him.
He's not an unlikable player. I think he is going to be one of those players that any football fan, neutral, whatever, is going to appreciate him for who he is, because from a young age, the kid's put on an amazing talent. And I think they missed him today, definitely. But Wan-Bissaka was having fun down that right wing. He was getting down, making them challenges. So I think that left without him on for Arsenal's side is always a bit disappointing for him.
Good point. Not the game tonight.
Hit the like button.
Hit it, like it, subscribe it, share it. Got a message here from Lamps Ramps again. You like Rashford, but his decision making is poor. I'm going to assume that that's a measure for me. Yeah, I love Rashford, and his decision making sometimes can be poor, but I would still take a poor Rashford with his poor decision making over a lot of players.
Yep.
Do you think
over a lot of players?
Do you think with Rashford, it's like he's like an instinctive player, isn't he? It's like
I think once he has to think about something, off the cuff. Yeah, definitely. You know what? I think we've drifted a bit off piece. We should be talking about this game, lads. So
well, let me say something. Rashford had a chance in the second half towards the end where he decided to shoot and went into the side netting. He didn't shoot across the goal, shot near post, and went into the side thing. When I thought that's poor decision making. I felt he could have kind of like head up and tried to look, maybe fake the shot, but look for the pass. There was Matt Martial and Cavani in the box. That's the kind of thing that frustrates me. And a few months ago, I used to be like, oh man, face palm watching Rashford play, because offside all the time, trying to do a little bit too much. Yeah, whoever Guna Ranger made a good point. The decision making, it needs to improve, but with time. And the thing is, remember, Liverpool have 3 guys in their attack who are all in their prime. You know what I'm saying? Rashford is just coming through. So we're developing players and have to go through this frustration and everything else. 3-4 years' time, hopefully he'll have a better IQ. We've got Cavani around. All these, he's had Zlatan, Ibrahimovic, yeah. And all this thing will develop him as a player. And I think he's got the right temperament and the right attitude, I think, to learn. So yeah, there's a lot of improvement there to be made with Rashford, and the game today proved it again. He could have done a lot more.
I like Rashford.
I don't know. I slightly disagree with you there a little bit. I slightly disagree with you in the way that I think that I don't think Rashford is an L plate player anymore. He's had how many seasons he's had in the Premier League now? He's had
agreed.
3, 4, 4. I think he's a season he's been playing for England international. So it's like he just started young. So I think you should be seeing things now, and I don't know about. I'm not sure if it's ever gonna kind of come into this in his game where he's gonna have that more kind of considered approach. I just think he's just one of these players that he's just always gonna rely on this kind of instinctiveness, his pace. When he's on his game, he can be frightening, but other times he can be really frustrating, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I think
room for growth.
In comparison to that, it's kind of like what we saw with, and look, I'm not comparing him directly to Ronaldo, but I'm comparing what I'm gonna say to like Ronaldo's growth, mentality, the change. when he came into United, he was like electric. You know, he was running down the wings. You can see, like you said, like it's been 3-4 seasons. Rashford sometimes knows when to burn energy, knows when to reserve energy. You can see that in his game, his movements, his decision making. Sometimes it's still a little bit lax, but the thing is as a striker, if you're going to play on the shoulder, you're looking for a ball over the top, or you're looking for a dead ball pass, which is why you're going to get caught out offside, because the ball, instead of going into you, is going left, is going right. So there are times when the ball gets him and it's too late, because he's already made it before when it should have been 2 passes before. So I think it's a bit of Rashford's learning, like you say. I think it's 4 seasons. I think you can see the difference of maturity, because he's not as electric in his thought. Like, you know, it's not like, oh, bang, I'm going to have a shot from here, like scoring 25-yard screamers. He's thinking, let me get the best solution around with my teammates that are involved. Or if it's sometimes I have to go and take it on them individually, we'll go and do that.
Good point. Yeah.
Another little line from Lamps Ramps. Backing local lads does not favour anyone. As a Man United fan, we need proper strikers. I agree. I agree. We need proper strikers, but you also need players who can learn off proper strikers, and that's why you've got players like Cavani in the team. It's knowledge. His knowledge is wisdom, and hopefully he's passing on his knowledge and his wisdom to the younger players.
Yep.
So, you know, we probably do need a world-class striker or world-class strikers. But at the same time, you've got to give the players that you've got, and you have faith and belief in, because you need to give them.
We need someone who can score. That's it.
So what do you think, that the players that we have aren't good enough?
It doesn't favour anyone, he said. Backing local lads.
I mean, with Martial had
they're England internationals.
Season last season.
Greenwood, England international. Rashford, England international. It doesn't favour anyone. I mean,
do you think they're making internationals too quickly?
Quite possibly. Look at Callum Wilson was playing for England last season just based on form. So he's got caps just based on his form last season for Bournemouth or whatever, when he was doing bits, you know? So I think sometimes some players do get in. I mean, if you look at the list of players that have played international football for England, some of them, Steve Ball was playing for Championship Wolves when he got caps, you know, just because he was doing bits.
I do also think because they're today, United as well. I think.
So no, I was just going to say, in a game like today, where you are bringing on strikers like McTominay is getting replaced with Martial, those strikers need to come on and make a difference.
Right. So that because to me, I'm not being funny, Martial didn't deserve to get on the pitch today. I'll be honest. After his last performance, I don't care what he did in training for the rest of the week. When you perform, your payday is the day that we as fans see you play to earn your money. Regardless of if he was running around, chasing down, harrying the whole week. As a player, you got to have pride in your work rate, and I don't think he worked hard enough. So me as a manager, I wouldn't have played him. I would have brought on somebody else instead of Martial today. He's lucky I think he was lucky that he was on the pitch, and I like Martial.
You know what, Mr. B? Lately, I've been, from our chats and everything else, you start to sway me, man. I do look at Martial like, yeah, it's true. It's true. You've been saying a lot of truths about Martial, and I've been thinking, no, Mr. B talking rubbish. But I've started to realise you're right, bruv. Because I just thought it was the facial thing, the poker face thing. But I'm watching more and more, and I'm thinking, no, you're right, bruv. He's not doing this. Even today, the commentator was saying the same thing. He's saying, about the distance thing, they know the stat they have about the distance running and all kind of thing they do. They're saying Martial's not doing enough, and we had this conversation the other day. So watching him today, do you just one question? When McTominay got injured, what substitution would you have made?
I would have brought on Van der Beek. I would have brought on Van der Beek. Yeah, I would have brought on Van der Beek. Yeah, because I'm still. There you go. See, to me, it just doesn't make any sense what Ollie's doing. You've got this, his ball retention. If you've got a player who can hold on to the ball and not lose the football, the player making the run knows he's seen him, he's going to find him with the correct weight of pass. But again, we're not seeing it. I mean, this could all be in my imagination. You know, he could get on the pitch and be absolute shit. But I can't believe that. Looking at how we played for Ajax and how we played for the Dutch national team, I can't see he would be worse than anybody else we've got in our team. I'm not going to put him on Bruno level or Pogba level, but to me, he should be third quite easily as number 6.
What do you done? Isn't it? Like Van der Beek's main position is that 6th position, up and down, box to box, recovery, going through the lines. He's that kind of a player. And the problem is when you have Pogba and Bruno on the pitch, you can't put Van der Beek in because then you're over flooded with a similar style of player. Okay,
then. So couldn't you then, the games that Pogba wasn't playing, he was playing McTominay. Now, me as Paul Pogba, I think I would be thinking that that's a bloody disrespect. I won the World Cup and McTominay's playing ahead of me. So he's coming now to prove that McTominay's not starting ahead of him. But Van der Beek isn't getting the opportunity to prove that he should be starting.
Yeah, that's a problem. He needs to. I was thinking Matic should have come on if he was on the bench, but I didn't think about Donny. I would have put Donny on when the sub he had the bellyache or whatever happened to him.
Yeah, does anybody actually know what the problem was? I saw a couple of things, but who knows? I have no idea.
Maybe it's cramp. I was thinking it seemed like some sort of abdominal pain or something. You know, maybe
tablets. He was taking. They gave him a couple of tablets to take.
Yeah. I got no idea. I don't know about them sort of things, man. I really don't know what's going on there. Seemed a bit bizarre because he kept sort of cramping over every second.
All I can say, as a neutral watching your team, I think that you guys need a number 9. That's what I just think.
Yeah,
we do. We need a Haaland. You agreed with Labs.
But yeah. I just think to myself that if you had a number 9, you would be like, it would be you cause problems. That's what I think personally.
Yeah, well, I agree with you.
I think he's towards the end. I think Cavani is he's okay, but it's towards the end, isn't it? It's like
it's short term.
You had him 2 years ago. Yeah. If you had him 2 years ago, but I think you really need.
But United have always done that. United have always done that. They've taken players that are just on the brink of that last 2 years and just used them.
Look at Henrik Larsson.
Zlatan. It's been, but it's like.
But when you had.
What I was going to say was that's a time when you can bring on a player in the 60th minute that you know that is going to have an impact because the way they hit the ball, their accuracy, their thinking, their football brain is going to change the game. The problem that we have now is we've got those players that are learning, but also they need to have that football brain straight away. And I think it's the same with Arsenal. Like Arsenal in that same boat, they've got players that are exactly in a similar state to what United were 18 months ago, learning, through the academy. You know, there's a lot of transition that's going on around some of these clubs at the moment. So
good point. And
I think that's it just showed both teams are on a similar level, but really with what we've had, we should have absolutely obliterated them today.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
there's a couple of good questions that came up there. I couldn't get time to read them, but there was a local lads fan base is massive. They do unsettle world-class striker like Haaland or anyone else. Local lads fan base is massive.
I think he's talking about our Manchester lads. When they come in to the club, you've always got their supporters as the ones who are going to be overriding maybe the world-class ones. So the English players are getting that little bly, I think, but that's how I'm kind of reading that message there.
They do unsettle. Okay, I don't really understand.
Thing, though, I think The only
Yeah, you
thing
feel?
though, I slightly disagree with that though as the game though, because ultimately, if you're good enough, look at Fernandes. Fernandes comes from Portugal. He just come and just smashed it. Do you know what
Would
I
he
mean?
have
He
done
don't
that
care
4
about the
years
local
ago?
things.
Would he have done that 4 years ago? Walked in and smashed it?
No, because 4 years
He's
ago your team was probably better. 4 years ago,
no, no. I
your
mean,
team was
he
better
wasn't
4
better
years
though.
ago.
He was just developing, I suppose. He's proved himself in Sporting with good stats consistently, and he's just transferred them over to the Premiership and playing international football as well. A few years ago, no one was really looking at Bruno Fernandes as like this great, what he looks like now. I think he's come in and he's sort of, whatever age he's at, he's more at peak now to deliver straight away. A lot of players need time, like we're saying about our young players, the Arsenal young players, they're developing and they've got time to develop at a big club like this. Bruno's come in and he's ready made, he's ripe.
That's it though. But you guys are Man United. Like I don't think you need. I don't think you're not a club that really was looking for next. Even when the season when they said that you couldn't win anything with kids and you won it with your kids, they were ready. They were waiting
Okay.
to be groomed.
How much?
So,
Okay, as much as they were ready, they were our kids. I think to a certain extent, Man United always want to try and make the superstar instead of trying to buy the superstar. I
That's
think
our
we've been burnt
philosophy.
a couple of times. I think we've been burnt a couple of times trying to buy that ready-made player.
Yep. Go back 1958, Busby Babes. The development, we went and won the FA Cup in 5-6 years later with the youth academy. Fergie's come in. We went on a drought for a long time, messed up our whole system. Fergie come in, restored that, and that's why when you say about can't win anything with kids, we were already established. They're the kids won the Youth Cup, FA Youth Cup. Prior to that, they were training with the first team. It was just like one in, one out, So we need to get back to that kind of level where these kids can just walk in with knowing the philosophy, how we play. A bit like with Man City. I think that throughout their whole youth setup, they're all playing the same way. So these guys can come in and know the unusual way Pep plays because it's different to any other style in English football. So what's the name? Phil Foden. If you see him in the under-17s World Cup, and he's different. He's a talented player, which I love. For example, because not many English players, Emil Smith Rowe, all these sort of talented players, wouldn't really get a look in before. Glenn Hoddle, I mean, that's the prime example with English football. It's like Glenn Hoddle, he was fantastic. Look at him into Monaco. So it's good the English talented players that can come in now and have a system where Pep can exploit them to their best, their finest. So now we're talking about players like Grealish, Foden for England, who can do bits against these top international
they're not
sides.
27, 28. He's got them in at 22, 23. I hear that.
I think a really good example. Sorry,
Pat.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Dumpy.
I'm going to say a really good example is the Lampard sacking. He spent so much money on proven talent, yeah? Kai Havertz, Werner, Pulisic, all these players were established. They had the experience. But were they the best in class? No. And that's the reason why when they're spending 300 million like they have on that summer window, they're going to struggle because they haven't got the best in class. The difference, if we go and spend 100 million for Haaland, would you put Haaland in the starting lineup over Werner? Of course you would, all day long.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah. You see what I mean? So, like, my point is actually going back to like building the youth. You've got to build a youth, but then if you have something that's going to give you a little bit more of an edge, you're going to take it.
Sound like this is the same thing here that sounds like Lamps has got the same sort of agreement with you in a way. He's saying that with the local lads not having a recognised striker, we've given them 7 years. We've probably wasted 7 years on the local lads. Maybe he has a point because what you were saying seems to be along those sort of lines. Give them the chance. They're not taking their chance. You're going to have to fill it with somebody else.
Look, our strikers in the academy have come through now. The ones that there's still a few that are there on the brink, but are they going to be that potential? I personally just think they're borderline, still
Nothing
a little
at the
bit
moment.
too far away to be able to just break into the first team. One of the reasons why I think Greenwood came through was because of how accurate his finishing is. You know, like if he wasn't so clinical, we wouldn't be going to, like, if we had clinical strikers like Rashford, Martial were consistent. Same with problems that a lot of the other clubs have got, where they've not got consistent strikers. Then they wouldn't have been even going to Greenwood until probably the beginning of this season. I think Greenwood came in, I think, earlier than what they needed.
Is Gruner Ranger upset that we're not talking more about the game tonight?
Yeah, can we?
Oh, he's gone. I think Guna Rangers cut off his Wi-Fi because we weren't talking about the game tonight. Mr. Guna, sorry, we will go back to the game tonight, my son, my friend. Let's get Andy back on.
Sorry.
So what's everyone think of Arsenal then? Anyway, let's go for Mr. Gruner Ranger. Let's start with the Tottenham fan first. What was your, let's get
of Arsenal?
Yeah.
The only thing I can say is Arsenal is that I think their decline, as a Tottenham fan, we've got a very good record against Arsenal, isn't it? I think the last 4 or 5 games or whatever, we've beaten them. Like, I can't remember the last time that Arsenal have beaten us. So we've got a good record against Arsenal. Or drawn or whatever. I think Partey makes them a decent team. But there are only a couple of players that I rate in it. I rate Partey, I rate Saka. Tyranny's all right. I would still have Reguilon ahead of Tyranny. Who in Arsenal? I just think their team, they got players like Xhaka. They got players like and whatever, I can't even pronounce his name. They've got their defense. I mean, David Luiz is their best central defender. Talk about our defense being poor. They've got Bellerin. Bellerin he just like, I don't know. I saw Grealish twist him inside out, inside. I don't know. So what do I think of Arsenal? I suppose the answer is not much. That's the answer. I'm just being honest. Not much.
Next,
the younger players like Martinelli, Smith Rowe, obviously Saka. Maitland, I'm not too sure what was happening with Maitland. I don't really follow anyone apart.
I think he was playing for a move. I think he was playing just to show people that he can play, and I think he'll get a move. I don't think he'll stay much.
I like his attitude though. The Niles player. Shame they're talking about going to West Brom or on loan somewhere. But as they keep wanting to know about tonight's game, I think Arsenal, they played all right. They played okay, but it was a bit, like I say, a bit boring, a bit stalemate. There's no threat. They couldn't open us up. One free kick hit the bar. Everything else. They're about 3-4 years off a good side. Like you're saying earlier about the development of their players. They got a lot of potential there with their players, and a lot of homegrown players who will play for the club. And have the right attitude.
So what does that say about us? What does that say about us then? If we're supposed to be 18 months, sorry, go on.
Yeah, sorry. So now I'm listening. So I want to hear the question.
Yeah, if we're supposed to be 18 months ahead of Arsenal, they've just drawn with us, and we're supposed to have this superb away record. So what does that say about Manchester United as a football team?
I think we're in development as well. I think that says that we're on the rise. We came third last season, and it's over 38 games. Maybe they might have, they raise it. It's still Arsenal, Man U, still the big game. They've beaten us. They've taken 4 points out of 6 this season. They've come today. A draw's good for them. It's not so good for us, but good for them. We haven't beaten them. Form guy. We haven't beaten them for a long time. But I think we're ahead of them, as you were saying earlier. We are ahead of them based on the third place. League don't lie, and based on their positioning where they've been coming lately.
So the fact that they've taken 4 points off us this season means nothing, no?
Not necessarily, no. Because we're still above them. We're still plenty points ahead.
No, it shouldn't have happened. We shouldn't even be letting them take 1 point, 2 points.
Thank you. This is
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
No, we should be taking it.
Man saying
Arsenal-
Arsenal's team is trash. This is what I've been hearing all season. Arsenal's team is trash. When they were 15th, oh, they're fighting for relegation. They're fighting for relegation. 4 games later, 5 games after that, they're drawing with us. They're in development, but we're higher than them. How? How does that make us higher than them?
Look at the point. Look at the league.
And that's the problem. That's the
They
problem.
were going. They were going to lose.
You're talking about league position. That's fine. Stats don't lie. Stats don't lie. You don't play football with stats. You make stats as you're playing today. And today's game finished 0-0. Yeah? They had three of their best players not playing. They're 18 months behind us. This is your words on Monday. They're 18 months behind us, but we haven't beaten them. They've taken 4 points from us.
That's one team we're talking about. From the last time they beat us in November, we went on a stretch until Sheffield United. They can't do that. That shows we're a more developed team than them, because we could still go on that run unbeaten all this time. Where during that time they were in the abyss. They were struggling. They were down in 15, couldn't get a win for love or money. So in that case, we are better than them.
FA Cup?
Who are they in the FA Cup? I don't know.
In the FA Cup?
Oh, they are. They are. I think they are in the FA Cup. I think they're still in the FA Cup. Yeah, but today I expected us to beat them. And remember we talked yesterday 2-1. You said 2-1.
I
said
3-1. I was gassed.
Oh, you said 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, you're right. So I'm disappointed. Trust me, I agree. I'm disappointed. We should be beating them based on what I saw when we lined up before. Yeah, man, we got this. So that's when it comes down to not just think. That's where I think it comes down. We got the squad, we got the players. It comes down to Oli. I've said from day one, I'm never going to back this guy. No conviction. Any other manager would imagine Fergie. You go out there, what? Arsenal got about 3 players injured up there. He's going to terrorize them, make sure we get the win. I think that's a manager issue. Ollie's that's where he lacks. It's all right getting the players out there, and we have the players to perform and saving him. But really, when it comes to the crucial thing like Red Bull, all this crucial thing, that's where we see the true extent of Ollie's limitations. Like today, for example.
Asking you a question, Dom, because I was coming.
Just a quick question. Arsenal are at the FA Cup. I think Southampton knocked them out the FA Cup. Just remember.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Good shout.
Yeah. So and they're at the thing. So I suppose I'm trying to compare like the seasons that you're having in comparison to Arsenal. Just answer Mr. B's question to understand who is really that much further ahead. So I suppose in league position, you're still in the cup competition as well. So I suppose in terms of as a fan base, you guys have got a bit more to look forward to than Arsenal fans. But what I will say is, I think part of the issue with Arsenal is similar to yours. I think is the manager. I think both managers are still kind of Arsenal's manager is definitely Arteta is definitely an L plate manager. You could argue and say that Ollie's got a bit more experience because of managing in Norway and for Cardiff, etc. Yeah, Mulder, yeah. But however, I don't know if bad experience is still the experience that you want. Do you know what I mean? It's managing Cardiff. So it's really difficult to say.
One thing just coming from Fnatic is today's a fair result.
Yeah. Was fair.
Yeah, it was fair. They had, as I said, I think we had a better first half than they did, but I think they probably controlled our midfield. I think our midfield was a bit invisible in the second half, really. Whether or not it was tiredness or Arsenal, you don't agree, Shah?
Now, it's like I was saying before, they were getting dragged. We were going too much down the wings to try and get these balls into Cavani, and if you look how many times Bruno's coming out of that 10 position to more like a 7 and a 11 position was quite often he wasn't there in that middle where he's putting the pieces together. You didn't see that Fred coming up behind or Pogba. There's loads of times in that last 10-15 minutes where you can just see it. Even Maguire was making run through. because there was just that much space to go through. We
That's it,
just
Shah.
didn't exploit the space.
See, Shah. This is what I would like to see a bit more, because we're trying to play pop football, but really we sometimes should be more direct. We'd use the overlap and cross the ball. So it doesn't matter, just cross the ball. I remember in the first half, Tierney crossed the ball. He got a chance to cross the ball. He don't play. He will cross it, you know. But I think what's happening is that Rashford, Pogba, they're demanding the ball. They won't pass to Wan-Bissaka. There's a couple of times that I don't allow him. Let him, you know, you can stretch out. That's what they're doing. They're doing it. That's the only one. Yeah. It's true. And I think that's a bit disrespectful because they're killing us by doing that. If you look at Telles will be a killer. If you let the man overlap and keep whipping in crosses, he will kill it, you know? But they gotta have the respect. I was watching the game there, thinking, man, if that was Liverpool with their fullbacks and the way they play and everything else, that gives them so much joy. But we're holding back, saying, no, I'm not gonna pass to him. And like you say, let him be a decoy, a dummy, you know? So they got to give these guys more confidence to start being a bit more direct and have a better pattern of play, because that's what's missing. You know, get the ball, whip it in, and get in the box. Like you say, Cavani was coming out wide, standing out there. There's no one in the middle. Sometimes you have to be a bit more kind of back to basics. Simple, yeah. Make it a bit more simplified rather than all this tic-tac. This is why we say Rashford's a bit indecisive. He thinks suddenly he's like a shred through ball, you know, do a little something. Just 1-2 cross. Just try a little something like that, man. That's a bit disappointed about that.
Burnley football.
Just one quick thing.
Just simple pad of play. Get overlap. Get Luke Shaw to cross it. Trust him, Wan-Bissaka, to cross it, and try a bit more like that, because you're playing around, playing little triangles. Sorry,
Luke Shaw's just saying Luke Shaw has been crossing it, but there's been nobody in the box. If you've got nobody in the box, you can cross all fucking day. Because
the pattern of play is not there. We're not used to it. We're used to, I'm going to come out, and Bruno, like you say, Bruno's going to come out, play in different positions to try and receive the ball, and then he's coming out and crossing it when really he should be maybe in the box. Trusting these guys.
Coaching. Is this down to coaching?
There you go again.
One of the reasons why this game was a 0-0 is because both of the teams just don't have a number 9. You got all the wingers, you got all the pace, but they ain't got the number 9s.
Well, I never thought that Arsenal were going to break us down today. Even if they had their strongest team, I couldn't see them breaking us down in open play. We're too strong. But then there was a stat that you guys dropped yesterday about Arsenal being the second best defensive side in the league. And I thought, wow, because I think their defense is there for the taking. You know?
Sorry. I've just seen a message from Nish. I would have brought on Henderson to play outfield before I brought on Martial today. If he wasn't scoring, but bringing something else to the team, fair enough. But there's just nothing to him at the moment.
I'm talking about the goalkeeper, Henderson, isn't it? Wow. Martial's getting it.
Oh, wow.
Come on, Nish. Need that positive energy for Martial to fulfill. We don't need that negative right there. Oh man.
Oh dear.
What do you think it is with Martial? What do you think it is with Martial? You United thinks. Do you think is there something going on in his private life? What's happened? Do you think?
On that note, I mean, obviously, firstly, I'd like to say fuck racism every single which way possible. Kick it out. Axel Twinzabi, the West Bromwich player, football as we know it has been disrupted by it again. Martial's having to deal with his wife getting threats from potentially, not real football fans. People that are going to go threaten a player's wife. They're not your fans. That's no way to treat it. So he has had a lot going on, and I'm not backing him. I'm not making excuses. Sorry, but. Doesn't matter who you are, what man, woman, child, whatever. If you've got them sort of worries, you're out playing football in London, your missus is back home, you're gonna be stressed, aren't you? So, they're trying to do what they've done. Why can't he ruin him?
I have no agenda. Another message from Laps. I have no agenda against local lads. I want them in, but not a striker. More as defenders or midfielders. Attackers have to be ready-made. It's like it's like the most important place. Maybe have one academy striker as a sub. Sounds like Laps just want us to spend money.
Which one do you guys watch the youth football? Our reserves and the under 23s and youths.
Well, I know today. I know what's his name played today in the under 23s. Amanda. What's his name? The young boy, but he changed his name twice, so I don't know what to call him. But yeah, he played today. He scored a penalty, and I think he scored 2 today. I think.
Oh wow!
I think he scored. They won 6-1 or 6-2. So I think he scored.
He took one up a defender, put it in, and scored a penalty.
Oh, good.
I'll pose a question for you guys. Talking about ready-made strikers, would you guys take Danny Ings?
Yes. How much? How much? Depends on the prices. Yeah, I would. Ready-made. I think he's very good, man. I watched. I think he's a very good player. But it's just it doesn't fit with our philosophy so much. We haven't really. I would, but if David Moyes was there, he probably would. I don't see. I can't see that happening.
Would have bought a dustbin, man. So let's not talk about Mr. Moyes.
The guy's doing well. Where is he? In 4th or 5th now?
Yeah, but look at the level at the club he's at. When he has a club with ambition, whatever he does at West Ham, keeping them above relegation is a good job for him. So there's no pressure on him. Make him stay there. Make him stay at West Ham. That's his level. Bloody wanker.
What about Danny Ings then?
No, I wouldn't take Danny Ings. I wouldn't take Danny Ings.
How come we can sign a Garlo and not take a Danny Ings? I think that's a good shout.
Yeah, it's true. Got a good point.
Agallo was a rash decision, definitely, because they gave 15 minutes for Josh King for Bournemouth to give him an answer whether they were going to sell him or not. So Agallo was a rash decision. Danny Ings, I like Danny Ings. I think he's got good awareness. He brings people into play. He's finishing. He's clever. He's kind of like at the level where Salah is now. He's got a football brain. He's got an awareness. He knows inside that 18-yard box. He knows where to put it. Looking at the keeper, looking at the defenders. He's got. I think he would be a good player, but have we got the team to be able to build and put him into play? Is where the problem is, because that at the moment is obviously where the issues are. When we can get things going, we're doing 3-4 passes. There's not sometimes that one pass that just goes in. Whereas Danny Ings is sometimes that kind of a player, like he showed against that goal that he scored against Liverpool.
Outside of his right foot.
Mate, ridiculous. If you can finish like that, that's like Ibra style, isn't it? Like,
wasn't that a bit like Ndombele's goal?
Yeah, I think Ndombele's was.
Oh yeah. I remember that now. Yeah, you're right.
He was going away from the goal. But it's similar.
Yeah. But Danny Ings won't come to us.
You would have said Ndombele's goal was the better one, Don P, but it's all right. It was more to do with because I said it and on Monday remembered, so it was more to do with the technique. Yeah.
And another thing around Danny Ings as well, he played for Liverpool, so I don't see him coming to us. But I do think he fits the bill. Good shout, Don P.
Michael Owen.
Don P. Yeah,
Michael Owen.
Yeah. Fair enough.
He already knew he was done as a footballer from Newcastle, so he mugged us off. You know what I mean?
But he ain't going to start. That's the problem with Ings. He wouldn't start. He'll be on the bench.
And that's what I'm saying. He's starting for Southampton and getting an England call up for it, so he's not going to come to us to be on the side. As much as I think.
Yeah. We'll take Harry Kane though from you, Don.
Do you know what? I'm laughing. Do you know what? Before this season, I would actually have been tempted to have taken like a 150 or whatever for Kane before this season. Yeah, but this season he showed me that he can bring more to his game. Do you know what I mean? He surprised me, to be fair.
You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
So now you take a 250. Is that what you're saying?
Oh god.
So
Yeah,
another
basically.
message from Guna Ranger. So Man United team tonight was your top team, player for player. There's only a couple I would swap. It would be interesting to know who those players would be, considering he's saying only a couple. I'm assuming it's going to be a couple. Does a couple mean 11 nowadays, you lot?
2.
Yeah, I think a couple must mean 11 because there's no way there's no way he only means 2 taking the piss. Taking the piss.
How many Arsenal players do you think? How many Arsenal players do you think will get in your team then?
The three players who didn't play today were the 3 players yesterday who I said I would put in the Arsenal team. I would put in the Man United team, and guess what? They didn't play, and we still didn't beat them. So
I
maybe
like Turney. Did Kieran Turney play today?
No, he never
didn't
played.
Nah.
Oh yeah, sorry, what
Injured.
am I thinking? Yeah. I like him a lot. I like him a lot, as we discussed yesterday.
I think Saka is probably the only player that I would take from Arsenal. Even Aubameyang. Aubameyang's nice. He's got a good thingy, but I just don't think he's like a Man United player.
Yeah.
You prefer Rashford ahead of him, innit? Yeah.
Not so much I prefer Rashford. I think Aubameyang, Martial.
Would you take Partey? You wouldn't take Partey. Partey would walk into your team.
Yeah.
Sorry, I like Partey. It's true.
No, we've already got a similar player.
That's a signing that you guys should have made, Partey.
No, I don't know.
Nah.
He's a brilliant player. He's a very good.
He's a good player. That's why he's playing at an average Arsenal team now, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? He's not playing at a Man United team.
What are you thinking? What sort of central midfielder then? You don't think Partey would have been the guy?
Who's that to?
Sorry, this is to Shah. Sorry.
I don't think we need a central midfielder. I think we've got too many bloody midfielders, man. We've got enough midfield.
You happy with your central midfield, sir?
I'm happy with my central midfield. I'm happy with McTominay. I'm happy with Fred. I'm happy with Pogba. If I'm honest with you, look, I think when you look at them players, like Partey looked good in a lot of space, like around in the game today. There was a lot of space for him to do the runs. You know, there's a lot of tired legs, but we've got players that are able to do exactly the same thing. They're just not. They're not going to be at that level yet, but they'll get there. McTominay is a great box-to-box player.
You're telling me that you would take Fred and McTominay as a DM ahead of Partey?
I personally would take him, yeah.
He's twisting you up, man. He's twisting you up.
I can't agree. I would have. To me, you've got 2 players who can't do one man's job. So I would take Partey all day and all night. All day.
I'd take Partey as well. I would take Partey, but yeah, that was a good kind of twist-up question. But I wouldn't. I think we are. I agree with Shah because we are all right in midfield. I'm happy with the midfield. Man, we've got Matic, we've got McTominay, we've got Fred. You know, none of them are top Partey at the moment, or ever will, probably. But we've also got the guy Garner on loan. I rate him highly. I don't know why. I think maybe his development's stalled or something, but I think we got a lot going. And Hannibal, I'm waiting for Hannibal.
Hannibal's the guy.
Man.
I don't think Guna Ranger likes us very much, but we did ask the question earlier on, and yes, Arsenal are out of the FA Cup, Guna Ranger, so we're not on the same level. Yeah? Thank you.
Tell them. I can understand what he's on about. Maybe as many young players in the starting 11 to be given time for development. If it was only one player, either Rashi, Greenwood or Martial, it would be better. Okay, so Man United support saying that.
Yeah, so he's saying that Rashi, Greenwood or Martial would be better if it was just
They're not 3. I like the fact that they're homegrown, man. I like that whole.
Yeah,
I like the fact that we haven't gone out and had to
exactly.
buy
Right.
players.
Mm.
You know,
I've got a question for you. I've got a question, right? Obviously, you like them sort of players, but in 2 years' time, and I think this is what like Don P's kind of thinking in the background as well. That look, in 2 years' time, we have Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood. Yeah, but they're still performing at the same level. Are you gonna accept it? You can't accept it.
Mm.
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
I think we were talking about Martial the other day. He would be the first man to go, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't think that's sorry. I don't think that's because he's not local. I just think it's because he's the worst out of the three.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe the local players like Greenwood and that would show more desire than Martial. Martial's, I think he's come at a young age at a big price, and he's kind of like strolling and drifting. He needs to move to kickstart. I'm sure if he went somewhere else, he'd kill it. If he
He's stale. Maybe he's stale. He's been at us so long. Maybe he's stale.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I think we get a lot of bonus when you got homegrown talents in our side. It gives you a big boost because these guys, it was Smith Rowe, Emil Smith Rowe was giving a statement. I saw a statement from him the other day saying to play for Arsenal is his dream and all this kind of thing. So you know he's going to give 100%. Same like these London boys, the Rice, Lampard, all these guys. They give it. They're proper English guys, you know. So I think these homegrown talents, you get it when you got a bit more desire than some of these guys that come in. Look, we had Alexis Sanchez, no desire at all, no affiliation to the club, and but then you get guys like Cavani and Bruno who come along, no affiliation to the club, but they work their ass off, and they look like they've got so much desire. So it's all about mentality, I think, and this is something when you're scouting players, you can't really assess. That's why you have to really take your time and get to know these players, you know, like Fergie. I think that was one of the main selling points for him, to get to know the player and see what their mentality was like.
I hear that. I mean, this is a message for Lamps. Just message the Twitter account, big man. We'll get in touch and we'll get you on the show because you seem like you've got a lot to say. There, a little message for Niche. I think Luna King liked your message, your little jokey message earlier on. I've got one for Monday. People telling me that there was a captain at Harefield a few years back that could teach Man United captain a few things. Apparently, this Harefield captain was serious centre-back.
Is that Guna? Liam, is that you? I know Guna. Yeah, big up Guna. Yeah, man, my boy. This guy was a baller. This guy was a flipping baller. I see guys. Listen, I can tell you sometimes. Listen, you have to hear this. Liam, Guna Ranger, proper baller. I'm talking Sunday League. He come down. I remember a goal he scored, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Got the ball, twist up about 3-4 man, and just slot in like it was nothing. This guy is crazy good.
All right,
and yeah, I was captain. I was captain. I was your captain, Guna. Yeah, remember me.
Okay.
I just clicked.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
What did he say? One of the best centre backs in the league? Yeah. Well, he didn't say that, but yeah, I'm saying that. I still am.
Yeah, you still am. How old are you?
45.
Yeah, that's
still
good,
running
man.
it. Still running it in the Sunday League.
That's nice.
Number
one. Nice. There's another one here from
your vets team, Mr. B.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk. Amanda Diallo destroyed Liverpool. When was that, Luna King?
That was today.
That was the reserve.
Okay.
Good. I need to YouTube that then. Catch up.
Yeah, I've got the highlights. I'll stick them in the group.
Brilliant.
I'm gonna have to shoot, yeah.
Do you know what? Guys? I was just saying I'm gonna have to leave you guys because I need to go and eat some food, and yeah. I'll leave you guys to have your last bit of your having. So thank you again for inviting me onto the show.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for the input.
Yeah, all the viewers, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share, and yeah, salute. you later. Bye.
Sure,
Big
big
up.
man. Thank you again for today, man. Really, really
No
appreciate
problem.
it. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's
Have a
me and
good one, lads.
me and you on Monday for the last 10 minutes, bro.
Yeah, let's go.
Right,
Let's
in
see
a
what
bit,
we-
lads. Take it easy. Bye
Are
bye.
you
Thank you,
good,
man.
Shah?
Yeah, he's gonna go as
Shah,
well.
nice,
Yeah,
nice to link up, man. Big up, brother. See you again soon.
Respect, man. 100%, lads. Take it easy. Thanks for
Okay,
having
man.
me.
Love.
Everyone,
Man.
enjoy.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Big up. Big up.
right. Another message from Niche. I actually love Martial. On his day, he's an absolute joy, but these days have not been his days. Drop him for 2 or 3 Premier League games. Start Cavani, unlimited shooting drills, and hope he comes back with a bang. Good point there, you know. That's a good
Salutes.
point. That's a good
Salute.
point there. Another message from Clam Feder. Rashford is world class. It's unfair all his career he's had to deal with Martial. It's time for Martial to go. I want to see Rashford alone with maybe another striker like Cavani or Haaland or Kane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that
Mar-
comment.
Yeah, Martial's getting it in his neck today, boy.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, he
Boy.
is, boy. Another message from Guna Ranger. I think you meant Mr. BS. I think that's a bit personal. As I said, you know this Guna Ranger. I know this Guna Ranger. I'm not going to tell you that I actually work with him.
Oh Lord.
We'll chat when the show's done, big man. We'll chat.
Okay.
We'll chat when the show's done. We've got another message here from Clam Fodder. Partey is class. Rashford was amazing until Martial came on. I think that was came on there. Another message. Rashford always plays amazing when Martial is not with him. Oh, that's a bit harsh. I think that's a bit harsh.
Like we discussed yesterday, Rashford and Martial, I got Rashford above. A couple about last season, new season 4, I used to have Martial above him, but now I've got Rashford every time. Rashford cannot be behind Martial. Martial has dropped down the rankings now. Number 1, Rashford, then Martial. That's how it goes now. So, yeah, all these comments, they're on point.
Okay, I got another message from Charles.
Yes, guys.
Oh, Charles.
Oh, Charles Williams.
Yes. He did play today.
Don't answer the trick. Move on. Next question.
Okay. Next one. So you would take Gabriel? Yes, I would. I would. I would take him. All jokes aside. Yeah, I would. I would take him. Charles,
I would actually take Guna Ranger if he got himself fit.
and
took about 10 years off him.
Yeah, lost his belly, innit?
And got his hair back. I'll take him. He was class. Tell you.
All right, he. Steve has run out for man poo.
Well,
right now, I'm going to assume that you're a Liverpool supporter. So right now, I don't really have much talk for you. We played you yesterday, and we beat you 3-2, playing the way that we wanted to play. So you've got the league title. Well done. You won't retain it. Unlucky. You'll finish below us in the league table. Again, unlucky.
And they're still sore.
And
still sore from the other day. This is what we're getting all the time now.
Here we go.
One question. What do you think? Do you think they're going to buy a centre back before the window closes?
No. They're not going to buy a centre back. Their deals. I think Liverpool, in that regard, Liverpool don't change their philosophy. I think they have. They decided. They've got a defender earmarked for the end of the season. That's when they're going to buy him, regardless of where they finish in the league or the losses that they've got or whatever. I mean, you know what? Van Dijk could be back in a couple of weeks. I reckon Van Dijk could be back before the end of the season anyway. Regardless of where Liverpool finish, he's going to go and play for the Euros. He'll get Liverpool. They'll get him fit. They'll get him a game with the Euros. He'll come back and then he'll be that Rolls Royce again,
I say that too about him. He's class.
Yeah, he's a
I call
Rolls
him a
Royce.
Rolls Royce as well. Yeah, man.
A message from Drew Manuel here. Maybe when young players play together, they might not pass to each other in case they get a word of them.
Ahead of them.
Yeah, could be.
In rank in selection.
Okay. Maybe that slow fluidity of the team. One at a time is better than having all of the same. See, he seems to agree here with who was the other guy who was talking on here? My memory's so shit.
Shah and Don P.
Yeah,
Don.
Clam. Was it Clam? Let's have a look. Hold on. He was I don't remember. I don't remember. My eyes are so bad I can't even scroll up and see all of that.
We're getting old, brother. We're getting old. I can't see this for you.
Get in, not got. One last message here before we go. If Rashi is injured, I would take Tellez left wing over Martial. Call me a hater, I don't care. Boy, you really, really don't like Martial that much? Wow.
Nor do we really at the moment. Nor do we.
Look, as I said, look, I'm not. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we're in.
You're the one. Listen, you're the one that's influenced me. Yeah, seriously. I've done 3 shows with you. I've done 3 shows, and you turned my head. My head turned that, sir, because of you. Trust me. You make a lot of sense. You know, it's grown on me. What you're saying, I'm thinking, yeah, and I've been watching and watching. I'm thinking, you're right, brother. You've been right all along.
I don't want. As I said, my Twitter header is Marshall B, so it hurts.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it hurts.
When was that?
Yeah.
Back when did you? When did you?
You bought him. You bought him, and you know I've had this faith, but I said the last few months, man, it's beginning to wane, man. It's beginning to wane, man. But look, we're here. We're gonna on Monday. I think it's time to look off. I've been on this for a little while, maybe a little while too long. But you know what? I appreciate it. Big up again. Like every week, setting up and showing you support, man. All the people. Yeah.
I had to work today, and then I got come in. Someone said they had a bug. I'm not gonna say the word. And I said, all right, I'll do the double shift. Suddenly, I'm told someone's coming in and things. So I'd already signed out and said I'm not gonna do the show. And then I realized I got a text from you guys. I thought, let me go in after the game and things. Big up for hosting, man. Top host, Errol. Errol, what's your job on the line? Errol's job's on the line. We have a good host here right there today, you know.
And again, as I said, YouTube followers, this is FTB Sports. This was the post Arsenal versus Manchester and Man United show. We had Don P, special guest earlier on, neutral supporter. We had Shaw United come and gone. We got a Monday playing with. Is that, you know what? I saw the head of it and I wanted to say to you, is that a toy dog? But I never want to offend you in case it was like one of them little chihuahua type thing. So I never said that, you know what I mean?
They're in the background.
Speaking. Oh, bless you, man. All right, you know what? We're going to cut this off. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the watch. Appreciate it, and we'll see you again in
God bless, man.
Another few days. Take it easy.
Thank you.
That should be it.